Catus, Maximus here, this time with an observational review. I've gotten a bit of criticism about my reviews of this set of Challenger 3136 6-inch slip joint pliers. Anyway, besides that, I'll say that I certainly like these pliers better than I like this Nitro Pepsi. This doesn't hit my palate very well, and just was noticing that when you use nitro for the soda, it doesn't emulsify like carbon dioxide does. And the soda, after like 10 minutes, basically is flat. The type of pliers that I don't know if Diamond Tools invented this style of pliers, but they certainly popularized them and were the most popular ones for decades. Anyway, just interesting to see a set of Challengers. I don't know if this was pre or post Proto buyout, and I suspect it may be kind of post. If we look carefully, the way the MFD USA is kind of the way Proto would stamp it. We can just barely make out Challenger. Kind of surprising, actually, that they stamped it so lightly. But that could have been just this pair. This is going to be a candidate that I'll end up trying to restore. We can see definitely some surface rust. Maybe not the thickest layer of chrome plating. We can just see on the areas here. This doesn't have the same luster. Even though it is a little bit dirty and rusty, it still just doesn't have quite the same effect as the diamonds. We can see the fit and finish. The diamonds were one of the things that made them so nice, was things like a little bit more even grinding on the jaws, where you can see this is a little bit lopsided. Nice finish work. We can see some of the flashing here from the forging. I should mention that pliers like this, they don't make left, and when they're forging these, they aren't making left and right sides. They're all left or all rights, and then they just broach one side for the slip joint and one side for the nut. So they're actually incredibly cheap to manufacture because you only have a die to make one half of these. Well, really, it's a die to forge them, and then a second die. Actually, they may even do it in one process where it forges and cuts off the flashing. Sometimes they forge them, move into a second die, which cuts off the flashing. Flashings, when they forge, the deal with forging is it causes the crystalline structure to actually align and flow generally into the shape of the tool, making them a bit stronger. But besides that, what I do kind of like is I kind of like this little chamfer they have at the jaw. They're a bit more square, or the diamonds are a bit more square. Other than that, not a lot else to say. Just wanted to do a little video. A bit different texturing. They have this double line texturing here versus this texturing here. Also, somebody mentioned in the comments that when they forge these is how they get the texture on the handles, and actually I found a very old, there's a YouTube channel that puts up a bunch of old vintage videos, and it actually, one of them, it looked like they're making pliers or a similar type of tool, and trying to get this texture when you're hammering something on flat, and we know they're hammered flat this way because that's the direction of the flashing line. It is a second or separate process to put the texturing on the handle. I may have been incorrect talking about these being rolled, but more than likely they forge out and then they go through a second process where they take all of them, they put them into some kind of machine that then just stamps the texturing onto the handles. But a forging die closing this way is going to give you flashing right down the middle of the handle, and so they have to deal with that flashing before they can put the texturing on there. Other than that, just wanted to do a video of yet another set of slip joint pliers, adding to the collection of all these different brands, and it's nice to pick up a set of Challenger. These are the 6-inch 3136s. The only other thing I want to say about them is the jaws are kind of thick. Well, this one wasn't forged the same as this one, so we can see it's a bit offset. But the gap in the jaws, these are 6-inch versus these 8-inch diamonds, and we can see the diamonds have a much kind of flatter, narrower center section of the jaws, where here they're actually pretty wide and open. So, and of course they do have the basic shear cutters. Someday I'll do, you know, like a more of a test which ones are strongest when I have enough money. Someday when I have enough money to actually buy a bunch of sets. But I don't do like destructive tests with a lot of these vintage tools that I find, just because they're rare and I just don't have the money to destroy them. My YouTube channel and video views are nowhere even remotely close to being able to afford that. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody who's been watching and subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Till next time, Catus Maximus out.